Hello, my name is Tony, and this video will showcase my submission to the 2022 Redis Hackathon. It is a web app I call IP Visualizer. It visualizes IP addresses on a map. I will show you how it works. You press this cursor button and you can now go anywhere on the map, select a point, press the mouse, drag to make a radius, a circle, and the number shows the radius. So if you let go, you will get some data visualized in different ways. You can change the different layers of how the data should be shown, aggregated. You have like a hexagon layer, so you can see the total numbers of IP addresses within the radius. It's in the selection. Yeah, this is 9 million. And if you click an item, you can see how many IP addresses is in that clicked selection. And this works a bit different for different layers, what kind of data you will see. For the heat map, you will not have any way to click, but you can change some stuff like intensity and the radius of it, how it should be visualized. Same for the scatter plotter. In this one you can also click and you will get the slider for that item. You click on how many IP addresses it contains. The grid layer is basically the same as the hexagon layer, but with some different layer options. The radius, for example, this is how big the radius is for the IP addresses. So if you decrease it like I did now, you can see that this is actually two different points, and if you increase the radius, this one will be mashed into one eventually when the radius gets big enough. You will get bigger coverage. Sure. So you have 2 million in this one now, and this is 1 million. If you decrease these ones, the smaller ones, it will be less. So I will show you the flow, how the app works. So when the user does a circle, it will send a post request to the server with the coordinates, center coordinates, and the radius of the circle. The server will validate this data, and then it will prepare the Redis command and send it. Redis will process this command, and it will get all the IP siders inside of the radius specified, and it will send back the response to the server. The server will transform this data to a more readable format, and it will also calculate how many IP addresses is in each CIDR range. And the data is sent back to the client, the post response. And the data will be visualized on the map with help of DeckGL. So let's look at the code. We start with the client. It's a Svelte application. So you have the main enters to the application here, the app.svelte. This one it loads up the map. It's also responsible of visualizing, waiting for the clicks and waiting for the data and visualizing it. So when you click and drag, you will activate the create circle function, and it returns a promise that will resolve when you have draw something or cancelled. It's basically a bunch of mouse event listeners. So when you move the mouse, it will calculate the radius based on the mouse position, and it will be unprojected to the map and turned into coordinates, and so you can calculate the distance of the radius. And and when you finish, when you release the mouse button, it will render the circle on the map. This is a layer containing a circle polygon, and yeah, it will be reflected on the map. Yes, and it will when you have that one, you have the coordinates, you will fetch the data. That is just a regular fetch call post with the coordinates and the radius. Then the controller itself, it is the layer controller is a solid component. Yes, this box. I can also hide it if you want. And this one is responsible of all the things regarding layers. Yeah, changing layers, updating the layers, creating the layers. And it's tied to a file store. So these are just the static layer options. That is static for this layer, and then the dynamic ones comes from a file store, and these are all the ones you can change. Yeah, let's look at the back end of things. The server. This is just a normal Express API. And it only has one regular route and one API route. It's the post route. So it takes the data and it validates it. And if it's valid, it will send the command to Redis. It just this is a Redis raw command because the geo features of the node Redis client does not work as intended. And when we get the data back from Redis, we compile it into a better format, so we process it. We calculate the number of hosts in each CIDR, and we make an object that is a bit more readable format than just the arrays that Redis provide, because it do provide the data as just arrays of arrays. Yes. And yeah, we do use I did write a script for loading data into Redis. So this one, it downloads the necessary files from MaxMind. It uses the EOLite2 database. It's a free database. So it will create some directories, download the files if it's need, and then you can choose if you want to update it with the Redis CLI. If you have that one available, it's the fastest way. So this one, it reads the CSV file as a stream, and it pipes it to the Redis CLI. But for piping it, you need to implement the Redis protocol, and yeah, that is what this function does. It just encodes it into the Redis protocol, and it is put into the buffer, and when the buffer is filled, it will send it to Redis, and yeah, it will keep running until it's complete. The other option, if you do not have access to the Redis CLI, you can use the slow load function. This will just use the regular Redis client, the Node Redis client, and just send command by command. This is also send the raw command, and it will keep going until it's finished. We can look at the data. I will update this one. This is the Redis Insight. It shows data. And yeah, it's not much to see. You have the set. This is IPs. This is the name of the set. This holds all the CIDRs. You can see it here as a name, and inside it's just a number, a score. But this gets transformed, so you can get the coordinates from it. We also use Redis for the rate limiter of the API, because if you want to run the API in cluster mode, you need to store the data for the rate limiter somewhere, and it will be stored also in Redis. I can show you popping up if we just take and run a new one. We will now get a new entry. It's for the rate limiter. See? Oil and the keys. Here is just a string. It's with the IP address. And yeah, this one will, of course, has a TTL set, so it will keep track of how many times you send it, right? So we update this one. And if we send it too many times, we will get rate limited. Yes. So that's all about the IP visualizer, I guess. It does have an Easter egg. You might have noticed this little thing you will usually get when doing HTML and you mess up the tags. Here it's just an Easter egg. Yeah, that's all for me. Goodbye.